continuing from where we stop in CSS, and we'll be doing something differently today. We'll be talking about an aspect of CSS that is very important, and we'll just be moving on that. We'll be proceeding, and hopefully, or not hopefully, by the end of this video we'll have been doing wonderful things. So straight up to the point, let's start doing some things with CSS. Let's just start working with CSS. So when we want to start working with CSS, from the last video we established the fact that what we want to do is that we want to separate the workflow. Let structures be done with HTML and let every other thing, designing, be done with CSS. So to design with CSS, just flow with me. You have something like this: style, then I have background color, then I'll change this to red, something quite obvious. I'll save this and I'll come to my browser and I'll refresh. Now you can see that the color of the web page has changed. You understand? So the color of the web page has changed because I didn't use BG color again. I started using something called CSS. So I can do it for other things. So I can just come to, what else can I change again? Okay, let me add a style here. Let me make this color yellow. Let's just play around with color yellow. Let me come back to my browser and let me refresh. Yeah, you see this already yellow, of that color. So that's the beauty of CSS. You just let go of your HTML, using the HTML just for structuring, and CSS mainly for the CSS will just be mainly for your design. So let's go back and let's check the anatomy of the HTML page. So yeah, so we first have the style, then after we have the style, yeah, we have something like this: style first, we have style, then equals to, then these two apostrophe sign, then inside it you have the attributes or that change you want to effect, that style you want to effect. So the next question you ask is that, okay, now I came out background color, so how did I know what to do? So just follow me, go to your browser, the place where you want to effect your change, come to that place. You see the way my mouse is on it, then right click. When you right click, come to inspect. I'm doing all this on Chrome. You notice what will happen. Yes, you see I have this thing will pop up. I have elements, I have console, I have sources, I have network, I have performance, but I'm staying with elements. So what the element did for us, for me, is that it showed me this H1. Mind you, is the H1 I gave a color of yellow. This H1 here. My name is Tolulokwe. So I gave that H1 that color, and if you notice, look at, it's told me that element color is yellow. Display is block. So all this is default CSS. What's the meaning of default CSS? That means this is the original styling that came with the HTML code. Like, it has its own original styling. So this is the original styling that came with it. So if I want to start effecting a change on this thing, I can go back to my style here, and I'll just have font size. What's the font size that was there? The font size here is 2M. Let me change it to 3M. Let's see how it will look like. So I've finished this. I've touched the color. So I put color column yellow. You end it with a semicolon. You add another property again that you want to change. Now that was 2M. Let's put 3M. Then you close it with a semicolon. Make sure you save it. Then you come to your browser and then you refresh it. You notice that it's gotten bigger. So it has cancelled the default. And if you come to this side again, you see it. Font size in pixel, display block, font weight. So these are CSS that you can adjust for your table. Now you can do border spacing, you can do border color smooth. Those are styles that come with it. So normally what that means is that normally your HTML has a normal styling. It has a normal styling. But with CSS now, you can improve it to your own specification. That means normally when my H1 was designed, it's supposed to be color black. It's supposed to be color black. But with CSS now, I can change it. So depending on what I want to do, that means if I want to design for a person and the person say, okay, my H1 must have red, I know how to do it for the person. So that's the thing about this default styling. Another thing you can do is that, like I searched here, I searched for default styles for H1 tag. So once you go to it, it took me to W3 School, and I think I already opened the tab here. So if you go to your W3 School here, it will link you there. So for all your elements now, default values, this is everything you can adjust, all of it. So that's how you know the thing to affect. You just go online and search for it. How do I change this, or how do I move it to the left, how do I move it to right? This is how I just searched it. Default style for H1 tag, it brought it out. You can search for so many other things. You can search default HTML style for HR tag. It will just bring it out for you, but you mind the resource that you use. So you can just go to the W3 School, it will show you this is the one for the HR tag. It's loading now. Once it's finished loading, you see it. So for my HR now, what's telling me is that, come on, for my HR tag, okay, so I can, I can do so many things with it. I can increase the height, I can increase the width, and do all this to it, all of this here to it. So that's just how you keep improving. Even when I was working on this course module, I still explore so many other things. You explore so many other things depending on what you want to do. So I can go to my H1 now and just apply this style. I can increase the height, I can increase the border width, I can change the color to gray, I can change anything I want to change. So that's it. With CSS you can do it. So that's the way to know it. You either come and, for example, now for that HR, let's inspect it again. So if I come here and I inspect it, and I just inspect it, and it will bring that dialog as for me again. So once it closes now, to tell the background, okay, see the display is blocked, the margin is 8 px. So you can increase those things. You can come here to everything here, margin top, margin right. Don't worry, as we go for them, when we start doing examples, you understand it. When we start using them for examples, you understand what a margin means and a padding. But all I want you to understand is this: the CSS. That's how you know the style to use. You inspect it, or you just go online. You go online, default style, default this, default that. You just check it. So first thing you have to notice that each element has the default styling. 2, CSS can help you to adjust those things. 3, it's not as if one person just knows, okay, this is not really knows everything like that. The more you use it, the more you explore, the more you inspect it under this style tag, element styles. That's how you get to know it more and more. So that's the first step. So this kind of CSS is what we call inline CSS. Inline CSS. Inside the inline CSS, that inline in the sense that it works with this kind of stuff. Like, let's do it for the paragraph, like style with this equals to, then this 2 column, then everything you want to put will be inside here. So you can put back. So another thing is that once you are using a good text editor, automatically it will be showing you some of those properties. The properties of that element you can change. Yes, that's another thing. See, it's telling you can change. These are the properties under B. If I press letter A, these are properties. I can text align center. You understand? And you see, as I was putting the text align, it's already bringing option for me. I can put it on left, I can put it on right. So just explore. There's no one way of doing it. So if I come here and let me close this and I refresh it, See, look, because it's in a table, you might not see the way it works, but just explore. Use the text editor to explore. When you put your style, just Q, anything you want to do, S, D, just explore. Just change it. So I can change the color to gray, and I refresh it. See, the color has changed. The color has changed to gray. So that's what we call inline CSS, because you design the CSS inline inside the element. But this kind of CSS has a little problem. I style this, for example. Now I style this HR now. Let me say I style this HR now. I use style. I give it a color. I'll say maybe gray, and I come and I refresh it. See that? You see? Let me give it background color, not color. Let's see if it will work now. Oh, it's not okay. Let's get back to Chrome before start. So let me just add this. Let me just copy this CSS here. Let me just paste it here. It's supposed to be rounding up now. And I'll save this, and I come here, and I refresh it. Yes, it starts working now. I don't know why. So imagine this is another HR, this is another HR. That means if I want to implement it for all of this, I have to be typing. So that's the only disadvantage. It's not as if inline CSS is not good. That's the only disadvantage of inline CSS. So in the next video, we'll be talking about another type of CSS entirely. I'll be talking about another type of CSS, and we'll be also talking about colors. How you know the color to use for whatever I want to do. So until the next video, I just want you to keep exploring. Use Google very well. Search for those things you want to search for, and enjoy web development. In short, just explore. So enjoy till the next video.